Hey, microphone test, microphone test. How's everybody doing today on this Mandelbulb Monday? How's the weather where you are? Because we still have a lot of snow here. I had to run out to the mailbox before and I haven't plowed the driveway yet. And it's a lot of fun. Let's just put it that way. If you don't have to go outside for anything, it's much better that way. So we'll wait a couple minutes here, see if some people file in. And then we're going to dive into Mandelbulb again. I got the latest version of Mandelbulb now. So hopefully it won't crash like it did last time. It was crashing constantly. But we were able to make at least one good image, which is this thing you see right here on the left. Some sort of alien planet. Did we make that last time, or was that on the pilot? I can't remember. Anyway, we're going to do more fractal things today. Just going to pull this up on my phone. Everything seems to be good. So let us hop over to the Mandelbulb. All right, there we go. How we doing, everybody? Welcome to Mandelbulb Monday 002. Today we're going to do more Mandelbulb stuff. And so yeah, let's just see what we can do, starting off with the formulas. And let me just clear the chat out here. No, I forgot to test it. Always good to test your stuff. Chat works, good. Alright, so get your coffee, get your water, get set, and we'll sit by the fire and do fractals. Okay, so once again, we'll kind of go through this stuff every time because I know there might be people here that have not been familiarized with Mandelbulb. So we got our basic integer power fractal, which is this thing here, this bulb, the very first Mandelbulb that was ever rendered, I guess. So let's go to that formula. We're going to mess around with that formula. Right now it's integer power. Which, by the way, you can also search for stuff in this little box. And that way you can find if you know a specific formula you're looking for, which I really don't. So I'm just going to... Let's just see what some of these are. I kind of want to do a... oh, this seems to be the same one. That's general. It's the same as integer power. Okay. Maybe there's some different parameters. I do want to, at one point, when I have time, do a rendering of each of the formulas just at the base formula so I know what they look like. I could just flip through them and be like, oh yeah. Because it's way easier for me to remember what they look like than what the names are. It is fun to just see what some of these odd shapes are. Like, this looks like some Dr. Seuss type shit. Like, there's a Lorax just hiding behind this thing. I kind of dig this. We should move forward with this one. does seem like a good starting place. Let's do some quick coloring here. And this time I'm actually going to go in and save some of these color settings. Because I usually start with the black background. Just because it's, I don't know. I do the same thing with my resin paintings. Black background seems to be the best way to actually get color to pop. That's what we do. So okay, now I'm going to save this this light setting. And I'll even leave the ambient lighting. This, when you save these, it'll save the entire, all 6 lights and the global light, or all these 4 tabs also. So I'm just going to call this one Black BG. And it's in this Mandelbulb folder. And this is M3D? No, M3L. Not M3L. I'm not very familiar with saving these yet. So let's just save it in this folder, and then later we'll go in here and make a folder specifically for these. I recently, when I updated this software, I took all the files that were in the old directories and I just backed them up and deleted and started over. So let's go. Let's go into the navigator. Actually, first let's continue our. Let's do the save on this one too. So this will be Mandelbulb Monday 002 V1. And that'll be sort of my naming parameters. It'll be the show number and version, whatever it is. Because trying to think of names for all these things after a while, it gets crazy. It's the same as trying to think of synthesizer preset names. You just kind of run out after a while, and song titles and all that. Like, you just, okay. It's just going to be a number system. Okay, let's go to the navigator. And let's grab all these parameters and whatnot. So here's our bulb. And this is the tricorn formula. Pretty interesting. Even as a really like smoothed out surface, it looks cool. Let's see what we can do with some of these parameters. Actually, let's zoom out a bunch more. If that's sliding, I want to go zooming. Oh, cool. Okay, so this was going to be one of these ones where kind of cutting through the surface. Ooh, this is like so silly putty-like. Oh, I think I used this formula in one of my animations for sure. Maybe something similar where it had this taffy kind of deal. Where it just kind of pulls itself apart in these 3 directions. And that's kind of the only... But what about iterations? Iterations in this case doesn't really give you and each big change. Let's see if we can add a second formula. And this is where it gets tricky because I'm not, like, I don't know about this stuff really. So maybe, I think what you do is you add like an adds or an IFS. What if we do box IFS? Hey, Blonde Tipper, how you doing, man? Good to see you today. Welcome to Mandelbulb Monday 002. We're doing fractal shit. How you doing, man? Right now we're inside the navigator window, and we're messing around with this fucking, all these fractal weirdness taffy shit. And we're gonna try and add this other formula. Let's see if we can do that without crashing the program. Yes, okay. Alright, so let's bring it back. You say you're still fucked up about doing a back-to-back with Miso. Like, bruh. Cool, man. Let's just do this. This is fine. Let's close this up. Alright, so we're back at 0 again. Once again proving I do not know how to do math or how these formulas are supposed to work. Because we just crashed the program with math. But we saved, so we can get that back. You say he live scratched over my halftime. Oh, nice, dude. Okay, so Formula 1 tricorn. Formula 2, what can it be? What can we put in there? It's not going to crash this fucking program. And why does it just crash? Why wouldn't it tell me whether or not, like, it can actually do the thing? Okay, so let's see. Let's bring back our parameters. Yeah, dude, well, I didn't know until you told me, but I know now who Miso is. And I've heard of Spicy Boys. To tell you the truth, I've heard of a lot of artists, but I haven't listened to a lot of music. And I know that's weird because I'm a musician, but, like, I don't go, like, seeking out music. I already have so much music in my head all the time that it's almost like I don't need to listen to new stuff, but I do love discovering new artists, but my head is so full of shit already that, like, putting more information into it and can sometimes be bad. You say he works with Chroma. Chroma, okay. That sounds I may have heard that name before. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of definitely live under a rock. And I don't know, I only know how to work in my way. Let's actually make this window a little bigger with 150. Okay, this could be pretty cool if we can get the scale down on one of these formulas. Nope, actually that's not bad. This could be a cool surface once we render this at a large size. So Tippy, did you get to work on our collab yet? I'm also starting a collab with Optic. I'm going to work on that on stream tomorrow. I sent him a beat battle track, and he took like one part of it and made it into like a 35 or 40-second loop or something like that, and now he just sent me that, and we're going to send back just full bounces of the master, and we're going to work like that. We're just going to keep like editing. It's going to be great. Okay, so let's see if we can zoom into this a little bit. We'll rotate the other way. Now let's do an animation keyframe. We could start doing an animation and saving, so we can have points of reference. We'll save this M3A. We're gonna save it right in here. It's gonna be MM002 V1. Okay, I'll take the animation window and put it down here, I guess, for a minute. Hey, Chumslick, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Mandelbulb Monday 002. We don't have a blonde tipped or... Oh, that's the one, yeah. The prolapse command. Okay, so let's send this navigation view to the main window. By the way, is my mic loud enough? Does it sound okay? Can you hear the fire crackle well enough? Let's view to main, and let's go calculate that, and we'll see what we get. Because this will have a bunch more detail than we could actually see before. And we'll zoom in, and maybe we'll try and add a third formula to this to get some more texture in it. But this is pretty fucking cool. Alright, let's go back to the navigator. And let's continue saving different iterations of this. This one's super grainy. These taffy ones tend to be really grainy. Audio's good? Cool. Let's see if we can add a third. Donut transform. I'm kind of curious as to what donut transform is. And let's hope it doesn't crash anything. Okay, let's see. Let's go to Formula 3. Y'all think the universe is in the shape of a donut? This is cool. Let's try this. Let's do another animation keyframe. Keep saving. We'll just overwrite. And let's go back to the navigator. We'll send it to main. View to main. Back to main. Calculate. Let's get that hydration check. Okay, now this is pretty crazy. Let's go back into nav. Zoom in. Let's see what we can find here. And we'll try some different far plane numbers. Oops. Try some different field of view numbers. Well, the difference between 9 and 10 is a lot. 9. Let's go with that, and we'll zoom around a little bit. You say, I imagine the universe looks like a poof from a puffball mushroom. Yes, dude. This is cool. You have the field of view set higher. You get that kind of fisheye thing where when you slide around it, the peripherals kind of squish in on themselves. And that could be useful for finding a specific composition that you like. Maybe you kind of want to give it more of this angle, or accentuate, or just shift that angle over a little bit, maybe because like this kind of makes a better composition. That's nice, I like that. But let's actually see what it looks like in the main window. Let's animation keyframe that. view to main, calculate. Maybe this will just be like a really noisy one, a lot of pixels, a lot of stuff like flying off in different directions. Maybe it's like imploding on itself. Wow, look at all that, okay. Let's save that. No, let's do two. Let's go back into the nav. Let's mess around with this first formula. Or actually, let's see. Yeah, the thing is, once you start doing too many... Ooh, look at that. Do too many sort of donuts, then you get just chaos. Too many donuts is chaos. Words to live by. I do love that it's called Donut Transform. Oops. Okay, so let's rotate. I'm just having a casual day of flying around some space objects and seeing what's around. See, the thing about having the fisheye thing with the far plane is that when you zoom in, then you lose everything. Let's see what other formula parameters we can change here. Whoa. That's actually pretty awesome. I might go with this. Let's animation keyframe that. And we'll send it to the main. Actually, let's try one more thing first. Oh, okay, so this is gonna... That makes way too drastic of a change. Let's see what that looks like. Oh wow, look at that. I dig. Okay, let's save that one as well. Let's see if we can adjust the composition a little bit. to have this bit of sky back here. Actually, I kind of like this. This is almost like being on a mountainous area. And we kind of just shift around until we find a nice composition. I like that. That's nice. It's got this curve that goes around this way. So there's like a semicircle here, but then kind of brings you back through these heavy lines, sort of ridges. Let's keyframe that as well, and let's go and save the animation again so we have all those. Go back to the navigator, send to the main, calculate. It's very noisy, a lot of stuff flying around back here. Cool, I like that. It almost feels like pointy ice cream. Well, the composition here is maybe a bit too symmetrical for my liking. Maybe we can adjust that a little bit by going back here. Maybe I'll just give it one of these, just rotate a little bit. That way it has a little bit more of a overall triangular balance. And then once we get that, we'll go in and do some lighting stuff. Maybe we'll try some of the, which lighting things did we not try last time? Maybe the light map. Okay, cool, I like this. And then later we can go in Procreate and clean up some of the stuff in the sky if we don't like it. But I kind of like this. Let's do some lighting and see if we can bring out more of a, like a life to this thing. And we'll keep saving. We'll save that again. Okay, so lighting. Let's maybe start with something like this. Some of these get really wild if you go kind of overboard with the saturation. This one is like this fucking watermelon or like kiwi strawberry reminiscent kind of color. It gets pretty wild. Let's start with, actually, we'll start with this one. Instead of the black background, maybe we'll start with this sort of blue skyish. Maybe instead of bluish sky, it'll be like maybe a weird greenish sky. Wrong one. I want to go to... No, wait, that's the ambient light. Okay, so then the depth. Yes, depth. Maybe it's like a greenish sky. Start to bring in some of that depth sort of fog deal, and then we can mess with this fog. It just immediately gives it so much more like characteristic of a living thing or like a real landscape. Let's do some of these randoms in here. Maybe we'll find a nice color scheme to begin with. sometimes this is great, but other times I'm like, I'm not getting any good. Actually, that's nice, where it's still that overall green, but has these sort of streaks in it. And this can also kind of help figure out what the object is, in a way. Like, before it kind of seemed like it was marshmallow fluff or something, and then now it's more of a, I don't know. Now that it has this almost sort of brownish green, it gives it more of a rocky kind of feel to it. Maybe it's like a rock with mineral deposits, or like petrified wood with these like sort of purple mineral deposits in it. Like, if you've ever seen poplar wood, it can a lot of times have these purple and green streaks in it, which is, from what I've learned, that it's from like minerals in the wood. Or like combinations of minerals and sap, and you get these beautiful like purple streaks in it. I'm just thinking now, this could also be cool for doing animations. I don't know if there's a way to like easily animate color shifts like this, unless you just kind of record the screen, or do multiple bounces of an image where you just incrementally move the color a little bit, and then you could do like a color morph. That would be a lot of work, though. Let's go with a little bit less. Like there, like these purples are just like some really subtle highlights. And then maybe the sky needs to be a different sort of shade of green, or maybe a different color altogether. And you can just really wash it out if you wanted to. If you wanted to give the impression of like fog covering most of the area. Take out some of the depth of field color. I think that's what it is, depth of field color, even though it just says depth. I kind of wish there was more information on that. What if it were... more cool color, maybe? Maybe more of a... You know what, though? It always goes back to black. Just to get that contrast. So yeah, I like the puffball mushroom thing, Chumslick. Maybe it's like yeah, it's just like a cloud of spores that maybe when it gets expelled, it does like one of those like donut kind of smoke ring deals. Like if you can have the spores emit from a perfectly circular orifice, it would fucking make like a nice smoke ring. But yo, let's talk about Terrence McKenna. Y'all like Terrence McKenna? And his crazy mushroom ideas and stoned ape theory? Okay, so let's save this again. I like these colors. I like how there are these like wispy things all up in here. It's almost like this is like a comet tail, and you're kind of seeing the dust and ice and everything just flying off the back of the comet as it flies through space. Okay, let's go into the positional lights. Actually, before we do that, let's go into the fog a little more. We'll give it an overall vibe of a different color of fog. Oops. Over there. With a really nice defined line. Maybe it's a different color. Maybe, what if this is like a red? Wow, okay. More of an orange. That's nice. That's more like of a traditional color scheme, I guess. But if I went with the red, it's sort of like really unnatural and bold. I kind of like it though. Maybe about there. Let's get that hydration check. Hydrate. Let's go. Okay. Camera. Come on, camera. There we go. Okay, so I'm liking this. Let's see where we can take this with some positional lights. Or maybe this time, before we do positional lights, maybe we'll do the shadows. Let's try that first. Go into post-process. Ambient shadows. And hard shadows. Actually, we don't even have, you know what? We can't do hard shadows yet because we don't have any positional lights yet. So let's do that first. I was trying to mix things up a little bit, but maybe these will be more like, maybe we'll just lean into the whole magenta, kind of like unnatural vibe of this thing. Do positional. Yes. Yay. Okay, so let's do the midpoint of this one. We'll start off in here somewhere. Ooh, it's crazy bright. Okay, this could be fun. Just got to adjust the position. Let's see what we can get. Ooh. It's so fucking pink. It needs to be more reddish, though. That's better, yeah. Dude. Sound number 3. You know what? I just realized looking at when I go to select one under the channel points, I can't see what number they actually are because it just says sound alert and then Animogue and then ... because I made the title too long. Let's see what this one is. Number 4. I also tried to take the graphic out. I guess I could leave the graphic in because that has the name in there. Those are fun though. I need to fucking get back on that and put some more in there. Okay, let's save again. Version 6. I don't know, this image looks like it fucking tastes really good. It just looks tasty. Like it has flavors. Look at all these fucking flavors in here. It's like cotton candy. Okay, so let's do some more positional light. Oh wait, we're gonna try the light map, right? Let's maybe mess with that. What you can do. So there's a folder. One of the directories has a folder where you put all these different light maps, which are just kind of color gradients. So I suppose now that there's that new feature in Procreate, you could make gradients in there and bring them into here to use, just to give your whole image like an overall. Oh, it's not on. So it'll kind of map whatever this color scheme is across the whole thing. And then you adjust like the... Actually, that's really nice. Look at that. Adjust the 3 dimensions of it. This is kind of something that requires a little bit more pre-planning. Maybe you want to start with one of these instead of using the other positional lights or any of the diffuse light. And use this as a basis. I'm going to stick with the positional light for now. Actually set the midpoint first. And go in here. Maybe this one is more of a... like this color blue. Maybe it's there, but the intensity is way down. Kind of like that, how it just casts a little bit of light on this ridge back there. Like that, it gives more weight to this side over here, kind of balances out the weight from this bright spot. And it also kind of makes it feel like there's a light behind this ridge here, like something's going on back there. It's nice. Yeah, dude, modified emotes. I had to go in last night and I modified a bunch of my own emotes. I was like, this is my life now, what the fuck? And I have these fucking... Dude, the fucking carrot nose. Okay, so let's do some more positional light. Let's get that coffee check. Let's do the coffee command. to save again. Now I do kind of want to take a minute and render this at a higher resolution and see if we can bring out some more detail and if I'm going to want to render this bigger or whatever in the end. So let's just do this. Take a look at some of these lighting effects close up. Some of the distortion, like all the noise. And we'll do a couple more positional lights, and we'll do some shadow calculations. And then maybe... Oops. And then we'll see maybe about doing another piece, or maybe we can do some animation previews. We'll see where it goes. Oh yeah, look at all this crazy shit. These little bits that like twist off and then they like float off into space. Okay, super cool. I guess in this case with this formula, since it doesn't have that traditional sort of fractal thing going on, it's kind of more, it's going to be less about details and more about overall composition. But since we have this saved, maybe let's go back into the navigator and let's send all this information to it. And let's see about adding maybe another formula. So we have tricorn, axion 1, I guess it's axion, I'm going to say axion, and then underscore donut transform. And that's it. Okay, so let's look at what we could put in number 4. About rotate. Chum says, I found a similar app for iOS, but there was a lot of poor reviews on it crashing. An app like this for doing like 3D fractals? Or did I don't know. I'm high. I might have missed something there. I have this one Fractal app on iOS. It's not like 3D, but it kind of like just endlessly generates those patterns, and there's a bunch of different presets, which wasn't nearly as fun as this. Mandelbulb app. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've tried a bunch of stuff on iOS, but they never, they were always, I've never seen the 3D one. They were all 2D ones that I looked at, which are kind of fun, but this is way more like, I don't know, this is so much more interactive to me than the ones I've tried on that. Because this gives you like the spaceship vibe where you fly around and land on planets and whatnot. So let's look at, we just put that rotate formula in there. So let's send that and let's see what parameters that has. So rotate. Oh, okay, yeah, this is great. This would be awesome for animations. But I'm going to reset that. What we have in Formula 2. Ixion. And then Donut. Okay, so let's look at maybe switching this formula. Let's hope it doesn't crash. Let's see. Let's try Bullbox. So there's that. Means we gotta scale it way down, I think, or zoom out because we're inside this thing. No, that's not gonna do it. Okay, so try a different one. Maybe Mana Warbulb. Hey, look at that. Okay, let's see what this does. Let's see if we can zoom out. We'll get, okay, so now we're getting that, the weird fractal sort of, those spirally type Fibonacci patterns. Like these type of deals. And those are like the little nexus points where stuff emanates from, it looks like. Whoa. Like zoomed super far into this. This could be cool. Wow. Okay, so let's do another animation keyframe on that. That's a saving point. And so now that we have this, this is already saved. I do kind of want to branch off to this other thing, but let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead. This one's going to take a minute to render out, huh? Oh, you know why? Let's stop. Let's bring it down to, back to 2300. Let's do that. We'll see what we get. This one's going to take a minute. I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be right back. Check this out. Look at this weird sunset type of kind of thing we got going on now. It's one thing about Mandelbulb. Once you get into like a good groove with a formula, you can make a lot of iterations on that and find all kinds of different things within it. All these different landscapes. See, now this has like these are a cloud sort of vibe over here, and then this is like a rock formation. And then even more, actually, kind of the whole thing seems like a rock formation now to me. This is like a riverbed. It's carved out this valley over time. So that's what we got for that. Let's zoom in a little bit and see. All that fucking broccoli type shit. Broccoli shapes, which was pointed out by Amanda. And then, yeah, look at all, like, that's nice. And all these little ridges down here. Nice. So let's save that for now, but we'll also, we're going to go back into the navigator and look around some more. Maybe this is more of the vibe, where it's like we're standing on top of this cliff, and you can oversee this vast expanse in the back, and then there's these hills that kind of come down, and you imagine maybe they go all the way down through here. Oops. This is a tricky spot. We're like stuck. Let's see about some of these parameters. Maybe. No, that's going to do too much probably, unless we can zoom out. Let's see if we can look like this, and then maybe we can back up. We're kind of stuck within the surface of it right now. Let's see. I'm gonna look back up. Oops, too much. Kind of the same thing. Like that. Let's do that to the main. You know what? Hold on. Just for the sake of going faster, we'll make a smaller one for now. Hey, Em, welcome to the show. How are you? Good to see you as always. We're doing more fractal things. We're doing good. We're exploring some odd territory, shall we say. We're in this sort of candy, cotton candy kind of fucking planet. Broccoli cotton candy? Look at some of this. Let's look at all this weird stuff. Oops. Oh, that's as far as we can go with this one. So that's pretty cool. Let's go back to the navigator. And actually, first of all, let's save this. I'm going to save a bunch of versions of this. Ooh, the stuff of life, says M. So, yes, let's save this. We're going to do a stretch for M. This is going to be version 9. We're going to have a lot of iterations of this piece. So let's do a stretch. M says, looks like a lot like the plains of Peru per our reading last night. Okay, I feel that. It's like Machu Picchu. This is what Machu Picchu looks like when the aliens come down and they give you DMT and you're an ancient culture. Chun. Chun-Li from Street Fighter? Or Chum-Li. Is Chum-Li and Chun-Li? Machu Picchu. Yeah, this is like DMT Machu Picchu. Look at all the weird spirally dealies. Okay, so let's go back into the navigator. And let's see about maybe doing some more of this formula stuff. Let's see, that's gonna, yeah, that'll be noise. What's Formula 4? Okay, this rotation. This could do a lot of cool stuff. Ready? This is going to move a lot of things. Not too much. Let's make this 1. We can go like 1 pixel at a time. Unlock, not on. 1. There we go. No, it's even still too much. Oh, looking angle. Okay, it's a different one. Gotcha. This could be a nice scene. Let's even do an animation keyframe on that one. This animation could end up being really weird because we have a bunch of different formulas going through it now. I do wonder. Let's actually look at the animation really quick, and we'll do a quick rendering of what it might look like. Because we added formulas, yeah, it's going to be weird shit like that where it like explodes and fucking math gets all crossed up over itself. It's trying to like morph between two things that aren't there anymore because you changed the formula. Whoa, yeah. See, then we switched things up, switch the formula, and then the whole thing just kind of like pops into existence. Just out of nowhere. There's no like interpolation because it just doesn't, there's nothing for it to snap to since the formula changed. interesting. Oops. So you get the idea. It'll do this, and then it explodes, and then it does a bunch of morphing stuff, and then new formula, and then, yeah. That could be fun, though. It's almost like a weird, hey, retro music, how you doing? Welcome to the show. We're doing Mandelbulb Monday today. We just took a quick look at this animation we're going to make later. We're going to render that off stream because it'll destroy the stream. And now we're going to play around with some more lighting effects, I think, on this. We can either do this one, or we can go back to... Let's go back in here. We're going to send this one to the main. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to view that to the main. We're going to calculate it. And we'll work on the lighting effects on that one. So yeah, it looks like SynthFest was a great success. I've reached out to them to try and play next month, and I'm going to be checking in on the Discord and on their page, and it should be fun, y'all. So yeah, this Manowar bulb formula is what's giving us these sort of, this type of fractal. It's almost like, an artichoke or some sort of one of those, or a pine cone even, the kind of stuff you see in nature. That golden spiral, or the Fibonacci numbers, where you can count the rows, and each row has a certain number of, like, petals in it, and then each one of those corresponds to a Fibonacci number. Okay, so this is what we got. And now, since we're using the same lighting effects from the last thing, it looks really weird. It looks even more alien. But maybe, what if we play around with the lighting effects? I kind of want to go back to the one we were working on before, though, and maybe get it to this one later and do some tweaking to that. Because I had a few more positional lights I wanted to put on that other one. I'm not even, you know what, I'm not even going to save this version because we have the one right before it, but I'm going to go back into here, and we're going to go to version 7, and just look at this some more. Because this is the one that's going to be like the piece of today. You say, yeah, it's a cool fest for sure, and like any people new to synth, they're all very helpful in explaining. Good group, yes, for sure. Look out for you on the January flyer. Cool, I hope to be on the flyer. And it looks like they're doing like 2-hour sets, which is kind of exactly what I do on Saturday nights. So maybe we can even, I'll just even like do my regularly scheduled show if it happens to be on a Saturday, and we'll just do it like that. That'd be fun. And I like how they do it just based on rating. Like, everyone just goes live to their own channel. That way there's none of that, like, everyone has to stream their thing to a server, and then there's, like, latency issues and all that. It's just, like, it's a really efficient way, it looks like, for them to do it. Okay, so let's look at this, I don't know, whatever this is. It looks like fucking colorful ice cream. So let's do some more positional lights. And let's get that stretch again. I don't know if I actually stretched before, but since M is here now, we gotta stretch. Deep breaths. Okay. Let's look at this positional light. And maybe we want to have some more light going on back here. Because this light here kind of gives me the idea that there's something going on behind this ridge, maybe. And maybe the same thing is continuing over in this area. So maybe we can do some not as extreme as that lighting. And let's see. Let's make it visible for a minute so we can see where it is. Whoa, okay, yeah. Actually, that could be cool too. If there's just like a bulb of light in there. But maybe it's actually that can be nice too, because there's a ridge here. Kind of want it to be in there, but then maybe the Z position needs to be altered, yeah. And then take the intensity down and make it not visible. A little too intense though, huh? Maybe that won't work. Sometimes you get an idea with these lights and you're like, oh, I can see how it might work, but then in practice it doesn't. But I think that does kind of work overall. Even if there's a hotspot right there, it kind of gives it makes your eye move from this hotspot here, up here, and it's also this line, which does that, and then it comes back down through here. There's like this whole sort of wave kind of thing going on. So that's actually a nice highlight. I think it works. Okay, so now we got two more lights we can use. What if we did a globe light on this one and just see? Oh, let me catch up on the chat here. Okay, you say, M says, Starahech? Starahech? Oh, yes, I got you. Stretch. And Retro says, yeah, just promoting different styles on own channels, more like a Ray Train. Yes, Ray Train. Awesome. That's Synthfest. Online, though, you get stuck where everyone is. Yes, okay, yeah. That was one thing. Like, if you somehow, if you're not watching for a minute and then they raid and then you come back maybe and everything's gone and it's like, wait, I didn't raid? I didn't go along? You say, Chum Slicks ARP something and Stretch Vid was cool. Oh, yeah. Beats. Okay. Yes. Yeah, SynthLab's pretty awesome. They have a wicked setup. It's literally like a synth cave. So many synths. Okay, so let's look at, maybe we're going to do global light on this one. And we'll use this to give some highlights. And let's change the color. Maybe we'll give the overall piece a more cool flavor. Let's see if that'll do anything. Kind of like that. Let's A/B it. That kind of gives highlights to a lot of this area. No, I think that's a little too much, but if you take the intensity down. maybe in this case, you know what? My instinct was to go with positional light, so let's just go with positional light. Kind of get more control that way. Let's see, maybe, I don't know, maybe like this ridge right here, maybe even in here where it's dark, maybe that is a crevice too. Maybe this is not like a solid surface. What if there was something, if there's light in there? I gotta turn it on. Yes, okay. Turn the intensity way down. And we'll make it... This will be more of a warm... More towards the red, maybe. And... Needs to be more of a bright red then. Hey, Retro Music, thank you for the sub. Hell yeah. Oh, M gifted. M, thank you for the gift. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love all of you. And welcome to the show. Welcome to the stream, rather. Glad to have you. And did you see that my thing worked, the my little TV animation? That was cool. So thank you, M, and welcome to Retro Music. Okay, so let's look at this red light now. Now we got this thing happening here. Kind of like that when it's filling up the crevice there, but also, I don't know, maybe it's too red, or maybe it needs to be a visible light. Maybe something like that, yeah. Where it doesn't even look like a light. It's kind of just this, like, mound. It looks like a mound of red sand, and this breezes and everything are just pulling, just eroding this mound of sand. But it's also very, like, I don't know, it still looks so delicious to me. Like it's made of candy and shit. Sweet Retro Music, what time is it there right now? It's super early in the morning, right? Phosphor out here blasting my secrets. Deadly ninja skills, and I'm not saying what they are. We all know M has the deadly ninja skills, but we just don't ask questions about it. Because that's how you get shanked by a ninja in the dead of night. 8:20 p.m., okay. I'm so bad at this time stuff. That's right, when I'm doing my late night show on Saturday, that's when it's like super early. Okay, so let's play around with the intensity of this mound of light. And also can kind of look like a sunrise or a sunset that's happening behind this thick blanket of smog. Which is really, can be really nice. Let's see. You know what, I'm kind of digging that. Maybe something about like that. Let's get that coffee check. Big loves, y'all. Okay, Em. We'll be right here. You just listen to the sweet sounds of Bob Fosse and the crackle of the fire. Okay, let's save this. This is going to be version 10. Version 10. Big luffs. Yay, luffs, luff meter. How many luffs? Stroopwafel? Luftwaffe? I still have not tried the Stroopwafel. I know Brightside raves about it. I'm not sure what the big deal is. I have to try it. Stroopwafel? We need a Stroopwafel command. Like looking up a psychedelic snowy mountain. Yes, that's exactly... I get that feeling too, for sure. I can't say it's exactly what I'm going for, but like, yeah, that fits the vibe. It's like cotton candy, psychedelic mountain with a sunrise on Tatooine, like that big red sun that Luke sees in, which, was that the first Star Wars? I can't remember. It all just blends together. Okay, so we have one more light here. Maybe this light will be like a moon in the sky over here. Let's see. Do positional light once again. We're going to do visible. And we're going to set the midpoint up here somewhere. Now we kind of have to decide where the moon is going to live. And it's kind of, I think, right here because of this line and this line. And that sort of makes the triangle. So it's in this area somewhere. We can adjust to taste, but like... And that kind of gives you the third. If you think about the rule of thirds, which is not necessarily always the best thing to do, but I think in this case, for this shape of a canvas, the thirds are important. Or maybe that's just the way I was taught, but yeah. In terms of like I almost look at it like a film, and that's something I learned in film class back in high school. So it is good to think about just how you divide up your canvas. So in this case, maybe the moon's too big, so I think it would kind of have to be far off. And I kind of like doing this. Like sometimes I've gone in and added a brush of a moon that I made in Procreate just to like stamp an actual moon in there, which brushes that were made out of actual pictures of moons. But this is fun to try and do it with just everything that's here, all within Mandelbulb. So maybe I can't adjust the Z position. Maybe right there is actually a little bit lower in the sky is a better position, because then you also have this sort of, not just the triangle, but there's this sort of trapezoid shape. Maybe a bit higher. Hey, live in the moment, live in the moment. It's the Avatar. How's it going? And Chum says it would be nice if there was a larger sized brush to select. Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe this does have to go back up a little bit higher in the sky. Oops, oh, wrong direction. I always do that. You can also use these little... Click on the side of the slider to bring it up. Refiner adjustment, okay. But in that case, I might want to, for doing that, this one down here, I might want to make invisible. Or maybe we just need to make the moon a different color. Or maybe it's not even a moon. Oh, you say the Procreate animator maxes out at 40 layers? Really? I thought you... No way, because I've... Oh, you know what? I haven't really even checked. I think you could probably do more than that. It's just based on the number of layers you can actually get in your project, I think. Right? Because each frame is a layer. And if you can have... Theoretically, if you could have, 1,000 layers, I think you could do 1,000 frames. I could be wrong. Maybe we'll make this more of a cool blue. is slightly bigger. Okay, maybe we can do that. Maybe it's casting more light on this ridge here. But now maybe it's too intense. This kind of thing, you have to kind of find a happy medium between the size and where it's casting light in a way, because it's, in order to get it to look like it's in the proper point in space and have it be the right like size and light casting, you can't always do it. It kind of looks a little bit awkward sometimes, so it's kind of a challenge to do that, but you kind of find the happy medium of where, because to change the size, you have to use the intensity. Doing the position, the Z position doesn't really, it kind of does, but like, then you're forced to have it cast more light. Or cast the light in a different position. Just a matter of playing around with it until you get it to look sort of... Like right now, this is the spot where I kind of wanted to cast light, like it's sort of reflecting down into this crevice here and then reflecting ambient light back up onto this surface. But like, it's too intense now. So if I bring it down, then it's too small almost, and it looks like it's too far away to be doing that. Maybe we'll just take make the color not as bright. That's kind of cool too. Like you're seeing it behind a blue haze in the atmosphere. Maybe we'll go with that. We'll just keep it kind of simple. We won't worry too much about where the light is being cast because maybe it's too far away. Cool, yeah. The thing is, like, it can look correct in a lot of different ways, and you can kind of like, since it's not a real landscape, I can kind of rationalize, like, yeah, that's how it would look. But I do want to go back into this positional light here and see if maybe it'll look better with it turned off. I think it's this one. That's the one. Not off, but make it, oh, so it isn't visible. So you know what? Maybe we don't need that light. Maybe we can reuse that now. Because now the hot spot that was helping the composition this way before isn't as needed because of this bright ridge. Might even be too much now. See if we can... Maybe that. And never mind the fact that the sun is rising or setting, and also there's like a moon over here. Does this actually make sense? I don't know, but I guess it could. Definitely tastes like candy, though. I would lick this painting if it were... Like, if this were a place... First of all, it would be, like, squishy. It doesn't even seem like rock. It would be, like, all fucking taffy. You just step in, like, your foot would get stuck. Okay, so let's save this. And then I'm gonna go refill my water. Take a quick break. So we're gonna go... This is gonna be version 11. So hang on, y'all. I'll be right back. I'm going to refill the water. Let's get that stretch. Walk around, check, whatever you got to do. Oh yeah, live in the moment. Just downloaded this program. Can't believe it's free. Yeah, it's free, dude. Everyone go get it. Go follow along. And then Retro says, could we see like a blur, smoky version of the moon like the sun? Yeah, we could try that out. Hold on, give me 1 minute. I'm going to refill the water. I'll be right back. Okay, yeah, so let's see if we can do that. Blur, smoky version of the moon, like the sun. Let's see. So, in this case... Okay, so we saved this, so we're good. Okay. So, the thing might be to adjust the fog, but we already have the fog adjusted to where this one looks nice. So we might have to do it with just the, like the position, the Z position. Or if you make it big enough, I think it might do that, but it might have to be moved in, moved down in space too. Let's see. You know what? I'm not even sure I'll be able to do it, but that's kind of nice too. It might have to be sort of behind the horizon where the other one is. Oops. Not quite the same. It is kind of nice though too. It does have a little bit of that, the trails coming off of it. Just curious to see a blur on the edges. Yeah, I have it saved. Might even save this one too. That's kind of nice. I'm kind of getting a sunrise and a moonrise. Kind of like that. But that is like a really bright spot. I might have to, if we take it down a little bit. That's kind of another thing too, when you play around with the color of the actual light, you can kind of, like if I make it black, actually I've never tried this. Yeah, if you make it black, there's no light, so it's actually not there. So like, let's see if it's gray. Okay, interesting. Not totally sure how it works, because I guess then it's coming through the rest of the fog, which is that color, so it's giving it the red tint. Like, what if it was green? If it's like this color green. Kind of just gives the... That's actually nice. And you know what they say? There's no green stars. Or at least they haven't found any green stars, and I can't remember why. You say they look too close together now, though. Yeah, for sure, yeah. Unless it's like, again, like a Star Wars. Remember on Tatooine when there's the double sunrise and Luke is watching the two suns rise or set? So I'm actually going to save this, but yeah, we'll go back to the original one. Because now there is, I think it's too bright on this side. So let's save that M3i. It's going to be 12. All right. And then we're going to go back. Open. There's this one, previous version. You know what? Now I'm not totally sure about the moon now. I guess it does work compositionally. So let's see if we can go, let's go back to the navigator and we'll pull these parameters in. So that's what we have, except it's not showing us the light sources. So let's see if we can mutate this some more. In fact, actually, let's try the mutagen. Let's see what we get when we mutate this. So let's not mess around with any of the formulas, but let's mess around with the randomness of the parameters of the formulas. Not the Julia mode. Julia mode is something we could look at, though. That's how you kind of like multiply things in space. change iteration count. Let's leave that kind of at a low setting, and then we'll take the strength down a little bit on each of these. And we'll say mutate, and we'll see what kind of results we get. Some of these could be really fucking cool. Like, I'm looking at this one right now. And this one. Like, let's take this one and send to the editor. Let's calculate it. Now this will be like a different version of that same sort of landscape, because all the parameters of the formulas and stuff got like screwed around with. And oh yeah, we didn't even do any shadow stuff yet. We could do more shadow stuff. The post-process, but that's pretty awesome. And then if you'd like, and this might be a thing where you want to just go and like save a bunch of these. Like, let's just save this one. And you can just try out a bunch of different versions of this same landscape. Like, wow, like I'm really looking at this one right now. That looks sick. Let's see what. Send that to the main. Does look like liquid, right? Yeah. Now, what if we messed around with the, oops. You know what, let's try this again. Yeah, maybe something like this where the lights are then hidden. Maybe it just got too crazy now. It's like too mixed up. But we'll see once we do the... Yeah. So let's actually go back to the first one. And then we'll go into the shadow calculations. This one. Okay, so we're back here. Let's go to post-process. And we'll do... Okay, so let's figure out which lights are which here. So, let's move the formulas there. So the red one is this one. Oh, look at the difference. Almost want to save a version like that too, because that's also a nice composition without that big hotspot there. And having this, the moon sort of be the focal point is nice too. Let's save that. back on. It's so helpful to be able to turn just lights on and off like that. Just A, B, A, B. I think I ultimately like that better without the... We'll stick with it for now, though. Let's do some hard shadows. So that one is 5. So I definitely want to do a calculation based on that. You say, how does it choose colors, or is that random? So the colors, you can set a color for each one of the lights, and you can also set color for the fog. You can set color for the ambient lighting and the depth lighting. Like, depth is the background. Ambient is like the overall general light across the whole surface. And then each one of these positional ones can have its own color, intensity, and all this other stuff. It can even have these different, like diffusion formula, I guess. I don't know. Sine and cosine, not sine, but just cosine to the second power, and all this stuff. You can kind of just play with the settings to get to that, what looks good to you. And M says, running errands. I'll see you all in an hour if you're still here. If not, thank you and make it great, and see you at Marbs. Oh yeah, Marbles. Yeah, we'll probably be here. It's only, we've been on for an hour 45. Usually go 3 hours on these. So yeah, Em, go do your thing. Go out there, do your ninja stuff, and we'll see you later. Hope you're having a great day out there. Are you going to be listening on your earbuds as you go? Cool. And wait, Retro says, could you say choose 5 random and it'll warp them in? I mean, what you can do with the diffused light, if you go to object light in here, you can slide these around and that'll give you a different overall kind of vibe. And you can also go glue. If you unclick glue sliders, then you can move them independently and you'll get more, you can get more variation out of it. And you can also do random. Can you see that? There's a random button here for both sets of, like, both, the main set of colors is like the bottom one, and then this is like the secondary kind of color, I guess. But yeah, you can find a lot of places to start from, at least, anyway, or to give an entirely different vibe. In this case, it's changing the flavor of the ice cream, I suppose. Allegedly ninja stuff, yep. So yeah, you can kind of get to a lot of different places. And then you can turn up the, like, the intensity of it over here. Kind of like this color scheme. And then you can do the, to tell you the truth, I don't know what the spec light is. I think that's diffusion, and it seems to be the same thing, I don't know. You know what, let's save this color variation. But let's also go back to the one we had before. So yeah, that's just like a really basic me going over the diffusion colors. There's more to it, but like I'm not super well versed in that. So I'm gonna open up this one. With a little blue moon. A little blue moon. I wish I had a blue moon right now. That sounds really delicious. But I can't get to the store because of the snow. Too loud? Yeah, that's not going to work for a sneak attack. I'm just out there doing ninja things and slicing throats and whatnot. Okay, so let's look at, where were we? We did all those lights. We're going to look at shadows. So let's go into post-process. And just make sure you can see that. So light 5 was that sun, and then 6 was the moon. So maybe let's try with just, let's do light 1, 5, and 6, and calculate the shadow based on that. Let's see what that looks like. That's nice too. It darkened up this area because it's getting the light from here. Let's try it with light 2 as well. Not much difference. The 2 was which one? Okay, 2 is that one, so that one's not really going to do a lot in terms of shadow. And then 3, what's 3? The one inside there. Okay, let's try with 3. No, that kind of makes it too bright in there. Let's just do 1, 5, and 6. Oh, it didn't go backward? Okay, well, that's fine. If I do that, if I do it calculate automatically. Sometimes it's hard to know what these things are actually doing, even though I think I understand, then it does something I can't quite figure out why. That's why it's good to save often, so you can go back. It didn't change much either, so let me go. I'm actually going to go back. And we're going to do 1, 5, and 6. Okay, that's nice. I like how it made this more blue over here. Okay, I like that as an overall composition. Is there anything else we can do? Let's save, and then we might play with the fog a little bit more. Like Tenchu, but with piano wire, yeah, like garrote wire. Super stealth. Okay, so yeah, let's save that. This is going to be version 17. A lot of these, I have like 20 or so versions of them. At least the ones I've done in the past. There's like so many different places you can take this. Take a closer look here for a minute. Yeah, super cool. I love all this stuff back here. And we're still at a pretty low resolution right now. We can scale this up a bunch when we do the final. Okay, so I was going to look at... I forgot. Oh, depth of field. Let's look at depth of field maybe. I think what you do here, you can click 2 points that you want the depth of field to calculate by. So like one would be up close, one would be far away, I guess, and then you calculate. Let's see what that does. I'm not very familiar with this feature either. Let's give that a minute to do its thing. Let's get the check of whatever thing you want to imbibe at this point. It's still going? Okay, I'm gonna use the restroom again. I'll be right back. So how does this look? Oh wow, look at that. Did a lot of blurring, huh? Zooted. Coffee. Yeah, live in the moment. Are you trying to run Mandelbulb right now and follow along? I would love to see what anyone does with this. If you join the Discord, go post it in there. I'm gonna actually make a page as soon as we get off stream. I'll make a channel for that, specifically for art sharing. In fact, you know what? I could just even do it now. But this is our Discord, Phosphorus Paradox. And you know what? Yeah, I'm on Discord right now. Art share. Okay, so if you go to the art share channel on the Discord, you can post whatever you want in there. Within reason, of course, if it's an artwork you created and it's not, you know what, just post whatever the fuck you want. It's Discord. Okay, so I kind of like this, but maybe it's too much. If we do it automatically. Oh, these take so long to do. Okay, let's stop that. Now let's open up the other one again and go back. Okay, so let's now use this as a starting point to explore some more stuff. So let's go into the navigator, send all the parameters and whatnot. And let's mess with some of the parameters of the formulas. So there's no parameters I can actually edit on this formula. Let's close the post process for now. Let's go to the formulas. Oh, there's nothing on 4. Okay, it lets you see ones that don't have anything loaded into it. That's fine. So let's see if we can put another formula in there without crashing this. Ooh, this one's got a lot of parameters. Let's see what this does. Pray it doesn't crash. Yeah, it crashed. So we'll quickly bring back up what we just had. You know what? Let's start from scratch again. I want to do that. How about that? Let's see what other formulas we can explore, and maybe we can learn some stuff. Rather than just going to what we already know works, let's do a new thing. So let's go. First we got to set our size, so we're going to start with 1920 by 1080, and then we're going to scale it up a little bit from there. This is also great if you need to figure out a resolution or a scaling up of a resolution for a specific size. This will calculate it for you. So right now, if you have keep aspect clicked, it'll keep this aspect ratio no matter what you change here. So if I go to like 2300, it knows to bring the height to the relative position, which is really nice. So let's start with that. And here we are back again at our classic Mandelbulb, the integer power. So let's look at some of these formulas. Formula 1. What about this more mathy sounding one, cosine power? Integer power or cosine power? Let's see. This one has a lot of taffy properties as well. Very taffy-esque. Let's set it to... Actually, oh wow, this is a nice one. Let's go to the black background. Let's go to the navigator. It's view to main. Let's calculate that. This is a wild one. I like this. Very gnarly. So let's save that as a starting point, and we're going to save inside the animation as well. This one's going to be MM 002 version 1.1 .m3i. Okay, so we have that. That's pretty awesome. Let's go back into the navigator and let's see if we zoom in what kind of details we're finding within this as it is. We're going to zoom way in here. And maybe we'll look up out across this landscape. Maybe the other way. And we'll rotate some more. Interesting. Okay, let's go to the animation window. Let's keyframe this. And we're going to save this animation. Okay, close that for now. Okay, so let's go into the navigator again, and we're going to send that to the main and calculate it. And just take a look at more of these details maybe. And then we can think about what other formula we can add to this. Wow, I kind of like this so much already. All these fucking weird shapes. Let's look back in the navigator and see about adjusting some of the parameters. So in this case, it only has one parameter, Z multiplier, which is going to stretch it out. Or kind of, oh yeah, look at that. It's shifting the whole thing. Yep. It like rips itself in half and then that one piece goes flying off into space. That's awesome. I feel like this could be great too. I like that. Maybe a little bit more to the, not too much. Like that. Let's animation keyframe that. And even that, let's do like a quick little animation of what that's going to look like if we were to animate that. It's already really fun. Very cool. Okay, let's save again. Just going to overwrite each time. And this will just be the repository of all the keyframes. 1.1, yes, okay. So let's send that to the main. Actually, let's see about, let's talk about Julia mode, because I don't really understand it very well, but it kind of, I should learn more about it, but yeah, it kind of does this stuff, which rotates, and in some cases it seems like it multiplies. But I really don't know. So do we, okay, let's see what that looks like on the main. I love all these rocky kind of shapes. Whoa, dude. That's gnarly as fuck. Okay, let's save that. Save M3i. Hey, example 2, Animog. Thanks, chum. These things are like, they'll fucking startle me, and I'm like, whoa, That's what's kind of fun about it, though. You get to startle me with sounds. And by the way, anyone who's a retro music, go into the subs only section of the Discord and get the sample pack that's in there. It's Animogue samples. So thank you, Chum, for reminding us with that. Yeah, dude. Definitely stretch, do a hydration check, and go to the subs only section of the Discord and download the Animogue sample pack, which are samples that I made on stream a couple weeks ago. Probably about a month ago now, maybe. But anyway, there's going to be a different thing in there every month for subs. First month is this pack that I'm very proud of. And it's kind of like the culmination of all the stuff I've ever done with Animogue, all like rolled into one pack, I guess. At least some of the stuff. But like all the techniques I've learned. Okay, so let's, wow, I really like this a lot. It's like super craggy. And we just saved that. I want to see about adding another formula here. Like, what about folding tetra 3D, which I'm assuming is folding a folding tetrahedron? So if we go into here and we grab all this stuff, and then, yeah, okay, so there's going to be a spot where it's going to be like the sweet spot. You kind of lose the whole thing. One iteration. Hey. See, multiplier is always the thing that just, like, takes the entire landscape and shifts it. Whoa. Okay, let's reset. Reset that value. Reset that. Let's actually try something else. Yeah, dude, join the Discord. It's like, that's where it's going to be like the new Facebook, I think. I think everyone's slowly going to abandon Facebook and we'll have Discord servers. And it's just like a way better way to interact with people. Okay, so this formula doesn't work. Folding Tetra 3D doesn't quite work. So let's see about something else. What about rec fold? Is that rectum fold? Or is it reciprocal fold? Hey, Brightside, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. We're doing some fractal stuff today. I hope you're well. And like, yeah, I don't know if you've been here for a while, but we're making this crazy shit right now. Hell yeah. Dude, I have all the modified emotes of my own shit with the fucking carrot nose. I'm so psyched. Everyone go, if you're not familiar with Brightside, retro music, go check out Brightside's stream. It's awesome. Music production, marbles on Mondays, brunch DJ sets on Sundays. Hell yeah. You got it, buddy. Love you, man. Okay, so the second formula we had there didn't work. Oh wait, we're going to try this one, right? Put in rec fold. And let us know in the chat, what do you think rec stands for in this case? Because it could be rectum. I don't know, rec fold. Let's see what we get. Hey! Now, if that doesn't look like a prolapse, I don't know what does. So let's send that to the main. Actually, let's mess around with the formulas. So we got fold X, and that, okay, yeah, that like radically shifts everything. That's fucking crazy. And we got asymmetry, which again, yeah, totally. This is pretty awesome. Let's see if we can zoom out. Oh, we're losing it now. What is P? PP? PP parameter? PQ. Oh, is this like logic shit? Okay. P's and Q's and whatnot. Mind your P's and Q's. Let's keyframe that. Okay, let's... You know what? I wanted to zoom out, but I don't think we can. We just lose the whole fucking thing. What if we rotate? Let's flip this all the way over. Let's animation keyframe it again. And then we'll look at this, because this is like a sweet rock formation. Let's look like that. Not too much. Gotta find this sweet spot where there's no like floating rocks, because that kind of looks weird. And now since we got the field of view set so high, we're getting that, what's it called, fisheye kind of deal, as we rotate around. Maybe right there. That's kind of cool too. Set this to like 5 instead of 20. And we get a little bit more nuance to it. Let's try that. Maybe that and that. Oh yeah, this is the one. That's a nice composition. I like that. It's got this triangle kind of thing going on, and then it's got this vanishing point, or at least where I would think a vanishing point would be, and these lines are all following it. That's really nice. Let's keyframe that. View to main. And we'll calculate that out. It's going to be a kind of noisy one, though. This formula introduces a lot of noise, it looks like, but also you get to stretch shit out, and it looks really weird. Yeah, dude, look at that. And look at all these things in here. Oops. It definitely gives the impression that this is like, it looks like rock, but also looks like it grew, like crystals, or like, or it was kind of eroded in a weird way by wind or some other force that kind of made all these patterns in it. So we got to save that too. It's going to be 1.3. Okay, so that's pretty fucking awesome. And oh yeah, Brightside, go get that, go get the sample pack in my Discord. I was trying to tell you about that on your stream like 3 or 4 times, and you just kept missing the message in the chat. He said, PETA is going to come to my stream to investigate this dick pill solution with my cat. Dick pill situation. Solution? Could be a solution. Okay, so... And here again, you can see how like the navigator looks a lot different than what's actually happening in the main window because of the different resolutions. But wait, let's do this one more time. Let's actually go to 1150. Yeah, see, it's like here it's floating, but there it's not. So we'll just go with it. We're going to go back up to 2300. Let's do that real quick. Brightside says, I like how you have a practical reason for why the effects do what they do. Like you said, wind erosion made it look like that. Yeah. Yeah, dude, like if you think about it, like this is... It's like a... They are like these physical structures in space. And if you think about it that way, like... And what they kind of look like to begin with, like this kind of looks like rock. So I'm like, okay, what does rock look like in real life? And then it's like, if you extrapolate out from that, and you look at pictures of stuff, you know, rock formations in Arizona or wherever it is, you'll see like indications of like patterns in the way that it's eroded. What happened here? Where'd it go? Dude, what just happened? Anyway, we'll just go with this. But yeah, like if think about it as a physical structure and then it kind of just makes sense. Well, what the hell happened? This is pretty cool too, but I don't know how we got this image. Let's save that, just because it's random and weird. It's one thing about this program. Sometimes it'll do weird shit and then you can't get back to where you were because the undo doesn't really undo what you think it does. Okay, so this is awesome though. I like this. You can kind of see how now the camera is kind of like cutting into this surface here, like a cross section, which is really cool. Let's go back to the navigator and we'll just grab all that information. And let's mess around with some of these parameters again. There's a lot of parameters here. You say, I gotta grab that pack. I think I might have a real quick on stream. But if not, I left up a tab to grab it and totally forgot. Okay, yeah, don't worry about it, man. But I will be, I'll be putting up a new one every month and I'll take the old one down. You, of course, I'll give you whatever pack you want, man, but it's saved. Yeah, I had a saved version of the other one. But yeah, I like these, the stream sounds. They're kind of fun. I want to put more up. Okay, so let's animation keyframe that. And you know what? Now we have a bunch of weird stuff inside the animation window. Happy 420, y'all on the East Coast. Yes, that is exactly. It's 422. Cheers to that. That reminds me. Let's go do the thing. Yeah, I'm having the same weird issue with the camera where it just turns off every time and I have to reset it by doing that. And like, I don't know if there's actually a solution to that. I've seen Brightside do that a lot, or you have to reset the camera. Okay, so we got these different keyframes in our animation window. Let's just do a quick animation preview. So we started with this, and then it went to this other point where we're going to now switch formulas somewhere, I think. We'll just jump. And then we have... Yep, that's where it jumps, and then we have a couple keyframes where it just kind of rotates and does a little bit of morphing. Starts to cut into the camera there, so this is what we get. And this is how I pretty much made all the animations that you see on Tendril TV. At least the ones that are like this. There's other stuff in there too, but these are like all just... It's pretty cool. Save it. In fact, I have one rendering out on my other computer right now. It's like maybe a couple hundred frames into like a 2,000 frame animation. So this will be... Oops. 1 point. Either way. Okay, let's close that. All right, now we're back here. Okay, let's go back in the navigator. We'll see if we can make this a little bit more, make more physical sense in terms of like a landscape that you'd walk on. And yes, happy winter solstice, everyone. Today is the 21st of December. It's 8 years past the Mayan apocalypse that sent us into an alternate timeline, apparently, allegedly. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Let's see if we can zoom. Yeah, once you start zooming and like cutting into stuff, it's really weird. This is nice. What if we zoom, not zoom, but look over? This is a really nice composition too, having this, the vanishing point over here. A lot of sky back here, and then these rock faces. I'll keyframe that. View to main. And then maybe we'll go in on some coloring on this one, because we got about, I mean, we could do a marathon stream, but we have about a half hour left, up to 3 hours, so let's see where we can go. Let's see this, view to main. Calculate 3D. Cool, that could be really nice. I kind of wish it had some more stuff going on back here. Maybe we can go back in the navigator and look at the far plane and see if that'll bring in more information. Yeah, so if he's, like, right, it was at, what, 10 something? So if you keep going up, brings in more of the, what would be there, I guess. It's kind of too much. Maybe like that. That's pretty awesome. I like these little spikes there. Let's see what that'll look like. Mandelbulb. Optic, how you doing, man? Are you working right now? Can you join us? Join us in Mandelbulb. Go get the program again and fucking make some weird fractals with us. Oh yeah, the Jupiter and Saturn alignment tonight. I think someone was saying it's the first time it's happened in 400 years, or maybe 800, I don't know. Brightside says, I can't believe how calming those fire crackles are in the background. Yeah, dude, it's like, it's total ASMR. It fits, like, I have a kind of a low-key, deep voice, and it just kind of, like, blends in with that. It gives that nice high-end crackle to my low voice. And you kind of, like, dial the volume in. Optic says, I'm working, but it's not too busy today, so I'll be in and out. Cool, Optic. Even if you're lurking, we appreciate you being here, buddy. Brightside says, I'm aligned with Uranus right now. Let's get that hydration check. Crackle, crackle. Okay, so let's send this to the main. I know we're exploring a lot of territory here today, but let's see where we're going. View to main. Calculate 3D. I'm just trying to hone in on like the perfect sort of overall composition that's like where I'm like, okay, now I want to go and color that. This might be it. I like this. This has more depth to it, it feels like, than the last one. And I like this shape. Oh yeah, this is the one, dude. Okay. We're going to save M3I. And now let's do some lighting stuff. So first let's do the ambient lighting. So the background, I think I might want to leave black for this, but maybe, let's see. Let's kind of figure out where we're going to go with the color of this. I feel like it has more of a, since it's rocky, it'll have some kind of an overall yellowish, so maybe we'll go with a little bit of yellow in the sky as well to kind of do the fog thing. It's kind of way too much, but we'll leave that for now. Maybe we'll play with the fog. In some cases, like right now, this, instead of looking like light, this looks like there's some sort of fucking gas, like, emitting from back there, and it's like a wall of gas slowly, like, creeping towards you. Like on Uranus. Like a wall of methane. Shout out the prolapse. Oh, wait. Shout out the prolapse. Yeah, dude, it's like, maybe this is on Titan, the moon of Saturn, where it has an atmosphere of methane. And I would assume, like, methane is this color, right? I have no idea. So, let's see. You can really, like, adjust the overall vibe with some of these. Like, it's really radical. That's nice. This way you get a little bit of that, the blackness of the sky coming through. Okay, so that's the fog. We did fog, we did a little bit of ambient. Let's do this, instead of this being bluish, this will be more of like a orange. It's too much though. Maybe it's like sandstone. Or it just kind of has that overall tint of yellow to it. And then let's look at the object lighting. You know what, let's try a random. Let's save this again. Oops. Oh, whoops. Okay. This is why you save a lot. Now I can go back to here. Q Darude. Sandstorm? Methane storm on Uranus? Sounds like a hit to me. Okay, so let's go to... Yeah, we're going to look at the diffusion colors. So now we can do some random stuff. And maybe get a different starting point. So if you do these randoms, we'll just kind of flavor the whole thing. Like even just like that. I like that a lot. But also it kind of makes the cut through look awkward. We unglue these. Oh wow, kind of like that. Now this kind of gives me the impression that like this green is maybe moss or some kind of thing that's growing on the surface. Perhaps a toe moss of some sort. Huh? And now I kind of like this purple too. That gives it sort of a, I don't know. The yellow and purple work well together as complements for sure. Let's get that hydration check again. Let's get that stretch. I'm doing the, I can't remember what this yoga pose is called, but where you put your foot on the inside of your thigh and just stand on one foot. I'm doing that right now. Feels good. Okay, so let's see if we can... You know what? This is bothering me about the cut-through, because the cut-through is such a different color. Because I guess the light isn't actually getting to it based on the calculation, because it's like squished up against the screen. But maybe we can do something with the positional lights to fix that. Let's see. If we turn that one on, we'll set the midpoint over here. Okay, so maybe we can kind of... Maybe we'll just make that like a blatant light. It just looks weird to me. In that case, let's save this one, and I might want to go back to the previous version with the coloring. And maybe we'll just stick to a more monochrome thing for this and see what we can do with that. Oh, wrong one. Gotta save first. Save M3I. Okay, now let's go back. It definitely blends in better now. This is still a hot spot here and here, but especially here, but we can deal with that because it's not throwing the balance too far off. Okay, so let's go back into positional lights. Positional. Let's change the color. We'll get some more like reds and stuff going. Maybe this one's more of a... Let's turn it visible so we can see where it is for a minute. We'll go to midpoint. We'll set the midpoint. Maybe we'll start in this area. Okay, we'll turn it off. Too intense. Maybe the color's just a little bit wrong. Maybe it's more of a closer to yellow. That is super intense. Let's go. Kind of like that. And maybe we'll move it forward in space. Lost it. We'll kind of use that to just flavor this whole section, this color. Maybe we'll bring it down a little bit. Too bright. Just A/B it. Now we can kind of start to use these lights to give not just color, but balance. And even still, I think this might be too orange. I don't know. I kind of want it to be... Maybe it shouldn't be too monochrome. It can have a little bit of variation. We can adjust that later. And, you know, I think I need that smoke break again. Okay, let's continue. Let's go to the next one. It'll be light 3. Positional. You know what, let's maybe play with global light for a second. But again, doing that makes these hotspots way more noticeable. So let's go back to positional. Maybe continue lighting up this area here. Too much. Maybe about there. Then it kind of hits this ridge, which continues this light from here, and it kind of brings your eye back around this way. So let's make it invisible again. Maybe the intensity can come out just a little bit. Too much. Right about there. And then maybe the color. More of a bronze kind of. It's starting to get too red. Let's A/B it. Take the intensity down a little bit more. Now maybe it just needs to be a little more. It still doesn't look right. Maybe this first one needs to go back to not as yellow. Or more yellow. Move on to the next one. I'll come back and adjust things as we go. Maybe we'll go up here. That's nice, just to give it that little bit of highlight there to bring some more weight to this side of the piece. And that helps to balance out this hot spot over here. And now we'll make the light invisible again. Nice, okay. Now we need something up in this, on this ridge, I think. So we'll go to light 5. We're gonna run out of lights quick here. Okay, so again, positional light. Turn it on. We'll do make it visible for a minute. We'll set the midpoint somewhere up here. color to more of a, somewhere in there. Take the intensity down. Need to come forward in space, or left is forward. And then more to the right. Yeah, it needs to cast light more like that. Maybe further back so we can get some more of this ridge in there. But having it right there does kind of give a nice balance from here to here. And I really like how these lines come through here and bring your eye back up like that. So it really lends itself to saying that the vanishing point is like, the horizon is like right along here somewhere, maybe, back there behind all that fog. Because all the lines go right to that point. Okay, so maybe we'll bring this further, a little bit further back in space. And a little bit more to the right. I don't want to move too much. Actually, yeah, somewhere in there, so the light is being cast all along here. And that's not even, it's not really where light would necessarily be, but who's really to say, because this is fantasy. But I mean, this is more, I'm just using this light as a compositional balancing tool rather than where light might actually be. And because we're going to run out of light, so we got to use this to kind of finish off the composition. So we have that. Let's turn that light off. But you know what? It is also cool to maybe leave it there and have it be a moon behind all that fog. So maybe we'll leave it on for right now, because it does work, I think, compositionally. It's not quite in the center. It's a little bit off to the right, which is nice. Okay. So we have one more positional light we can use. What if this one were more of a, like a pink? Like pink and orange are nice. Turn that on. And it's got to be positional. Let's set the midpoint. Maybe that'll be somewhere. That wouldn't really make total sense, but maybe it's somewhere down here. See if we can give just like a little bit of flavor of this other color. Kind of trying to use this light as a way to tie everything together from here through here, because there was kind of almost a void here that didn't have much highlight, and now we can kind of make all this stuff make sense, even though, like, there's this line here that goes across to there and then down and then out. And it does all kind of spiral into this area here where the vanishing point would be. But that light's still too bright, I think. Let's save again here. It's a good place to save. And maybe Just a little bit of more reddish, the pink in there gives it a nice balance, I think. But we got to adjust some of this here. That's too bright there, too white. And here, maybe this yellow could be a little bit more orange. This is kind of a hot spot, but it does kind of work. But also, I want to see if this, what if this were more that color? So I did want to keep it kind of monochrome, but maybe that little splash of pink in there will be fine. Just a little extra flavor. But I want to see about this light here, that yellow one. Yeah. Maybe just bring the intensity down a bunch. Yeah, now that I'm looking at it, that wants to be more orange instead of pink. Wrong one. Sometimes you just have to go with your initial thought. I think that works way better. And yes, monochrome is like easier to do, I guess, but monochrome can be really nice. And I think maybe, you know what, this actually, I thought this was too bright at first here, but it does work because this, it balances with this and this up here. And you get this nice triangle here with the moon. And this here, especially with these spikes coming out, and then there's this line up here which helps it bring it back to that triangle. Okay. Let's just see how that looks with that as an invisible light. I think that works too. Kind of works both ways. Let's play around with the fog some more. Because right now the fog is set to all white. So let's see. Yeah. This will radically... See, this could be nice too, because now you can kind of adjust almost where the shadows are and get more of a... This feels more like a dusk, whereas the brighter one is more like a midday in a way. That makes sense. Bring out some more of the contrast there with that ridge. That's really nice. These dark lines in there, it's nice. Let's just take a look at it small for a minute. Okay, now before I mess with any more of the settings, we're going to save again. Now let's play with maybe the fog color. Yeah. What if this were that sort of sandstone yellow? And yeah, you can really do some weird shit with this. That looks like a bright sunny day on Titan or on Uranus, whichever you prefer. With the methane cloud coming your way. Just a wall of cow farts. Pretty good, I'm digging this. Okay, but this is kind of too bright, so I do think I want to go back. So let's go back to the previous. Okay, I like that better. That's more of the vibe that we're going for with this one. So the last thing to look at would be shadows. Let's look at that. Post-process. And let's just see what we get with, let's try 1, 2, and 3. Hard shadow calculation. That's nice too. Maybe it's too much shadow down here though. About 4. Kind of about the same. Actually, that does make more sense, I think. That it'd be a lot more shadow there. And that kind of, it does work. It's just a different sort of balance. And yeah, I do like how now all the shadow in these little crevices. Let's see. Right, just 1, 1, and 2. Still kind of about the same. Let's try an automatic one. Okay, still about the same, so let's go with that. Let's save that. So that's hard shadows. What about the ambient? Okay, it's already doing that, so let's leave that. It's good not to overdo it. And yeah, some of this light doesn't make sense, but it doesn't really have to. And I'm really liking these like cut throughs now. This looks like petrified wood. But also like it was sliced by a technology like a saw. So it was like cut through millions of years ago with a saw blade, and then it's just been like petrifying. Like this is the remnants of an ancient alien civilization, ancient aliens. Aliens. So yeah, I don't know what else we can do to this. We did all the different kind of, all the things. Let's grab all that information from the to the navigator, and let's keyframe that. Let's look at the animation. Oh, I think I just overrode one. Oh, whatever. So yeah, we started off with this, and now we have. Let's keyframe it again, so we have it in this slot. And let's save this again, so we can come back to it later and animate it. It's going to be, let's call this 1.5. Thanks, chum. It was a fun one. I like this one a lot. So we got our animation there. We got the fog happening. We got shadows. We got all the light sources used up. That's really all we can do in here, other than rendering out a final image. And you know what? Let's do that for like the last couple of minutes. We're at 3 hours now, but we can hang out for a little bit. So let's do... let's do a 4K resolution one. Let's let that calculate out, and we'll hang out for a minute. Oh, it's actually going pretty fast too, huh? You know what? Did it do the thing again? Did it like somehow not get the right formula? Yeah, it like rotated it. That's so weird. Because I changed the resolution. This could be cool too, though. This is why we save. No, it's the same one, is it? Sometimes when you... Oh, yes, it is the same. Sometimes when you go to a higher resolution or lower, you'll lose details that were there in the previous resolution. And it'll have like a really different vibe. So sometimes you want to keep them at the resolution you started at. Like in this case, it's going to like make a lot of the details in here look a lot different, which could be cool. So we'll see. Calculating shadows. And there it is. Pretty much has the same sort of details. Nothing's really sticking out as being radically different. Except maybe some of the stuff in here, and maybe like these, you can kind of see more of the actual fractal in there. This stuff over here kind of looks the same, still very kind of noisy. But here, I guess you can kind of see more. You know what, let's even go up one more. It didn't take that long to calculate, let's see. Let's get that hydration check. One thing to keep in mind, oh, let's get this camera back. When you want to export an image, you can't only go by what this width and height is. So first you define the width and height, but then you also have to leave the viewing on 1:1. That way you'll get this actual resolution. If you do it at 1:2, you're actually getting half of this. So it's something to keep in mind when you bounce out images. And if you want to take the time to play with some of these things over here, these calculations, you can get varying degrees of noisiness and all that kind of stuff. Hey, Sess. Sword Squad. How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Yo, I love these weird little emoji characters you got. What the fuck? There's like a little house, and there's that O with the slash through it. Like from Monty Python. Okay, so yeah, we're basically... You caught us at the very end, Sess, but here we are rendering out the final image. And this is what we did today. We did another one earlier, but this one, I actually like this one better. This one is more my vibe. The other one was too, I mean, it was good, but it was more light and fluffy, shall we say. And this one is more of a... I don't know, this looks like some shit under either an electron microscope or like some alien planet. This one is more ominous. The other one was more like, you know, rainbows and shit. And cotton candy. It was all cotton candy colored. And it looked like it fucking tasted nice. Right now we're doing a very large rendering of this one at 7680 by 4320. So we can go and look at some of the details that may not have been there before at a low resolution. And so we can see what else is in there. Because I think I've mentioned this before, but the cool thing about this is that every time if you make a change and then you render it, it has to it remakes the entire structure of the thing. So it's like, it is like a physical structure that has to recalculate in each time any change is made to the system. So it's kind of interesting. That's going to be the ambient shadow. And as soon as we get a look at this one, the final version, the final form of it, we're going to save again, and then we can find someone to raid. Because I'm going to go eat something. I'm going to go chill out before marbles. And I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. As soon as the ambient shadows are done, we can bask in the glory of this image that we made today. I definitely need that Jeopardy music. I think that was Dr. G who recommended that. But yeah, check this out. So this is what we get. This is our final image. I'm going to save it like this. I'm going to call that version 1.xx1. So that's our image. Now let's see if we can zoom into some stuff. Right away you can see it's a lot less noisy than the previous ones. But then you go into like stuff up here maybe, and you can start to see a lot of the cool detail. Oops. Like all these ridges. It still has aspects of that noise, like it's disintegrating, but it's also has a lot of defined structure. Some good contrast. A lot of cool shapes, like these weird spiky things. All these ridges down here, which are super nice, they look like sedimentary layers in rock. And again, like the idea that maybe this is weathered by wind. Or maybe water. I don't know. And look at all this. This is great, dude. All this stuff down here. These little ridges. These kind of look like teeth. Like maybe this is a skeleton. Like before it had the vibe maybe of being a cut log that got petrified, but maybe it's a combination of stuff. Maybe this is like a kill site where a bunch of dinosaurs were all killed at one time. And they all got petrified in here and preserved. So a lot of these like A lot of teeth and claws and stuff are in there. You got this crazy ridge right here, and this gives it like a lot of scale, I think. Like this seems like it's really big. Like if a person were standing here, they would be just a little dot down here, like a couple pixels wide and tall down here somewhere. So that's it, y'all. That's how you do Mandelbulb stuff. And I'm glad, I hope so. Live in the moment. You have this now, right? So hope you follow along. I would love to see what you're doing in this. Post it in the Discord. Yeah, we're still here, Em. We were waiting for you to get back. Now we can end the show. We're going to find someone to raid. Because I'm hungry. I'm going to go eat. But yeah, check out the thing we made. How were your errands? Did you get all the stuff you needed to get and do the ninja things? Cool beans. Okay, so yeah, let's this is already saved. Don't have to worry about that. Let's see who we can raid. Should we go to Turtles and chill again? Jeff for real? Let's check out Jeff for real. I'm gonna pull it up here on my phone. Movies and music. All right. Okay, so let me just actually look at the stream for a minute here for Jeff for real. I'm seeing the ad right now. Let's see what we got. Okay, yeah, this is like cool visuals and ambient music. Or you say, or thug shells. Let's check out thug shells as well. So this Jeff for real, is he doing this live? Is the music live, or is it just like kind of a like what's going on here? Yeah. Okay, so he's doing like synthesizer kind of like. It's interesting. I'd love to see. You can kind of see what he has there, like the gear, like pedals and whatnot. It looks like, but I can't tell quite what it is because of the visuals. That looks pretty cool. Let's check out Thug Shells. Let's see what that's about. Thug Shells. Freestyle rap. Let's do, since Jeff for real has less people watching right now, let's do that. That'd be fun. Jeff for real. Cool, so let's check that out. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining me on this journey of Mandelbulbing today on Mandelbulb Monday, episode 2. I'll be back next week with the same time, same place. And thank you. I love all of you. I appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out with me. And we'll go and do the raid thing. Let's go in there and spam some emotes. Say what's up. And thanks, Cess, for the recommendation. I also loved your recommendation of oh shit, what's the dude's name last time? Beats by Jesse. That was a good recommendation. He was rocking that Busta Rhymes. I gotta listen to that new Busta Rhymes now. I didn't know there was an ELE too. Jesse James, that's it. So, okay, so we're gonna raid Jeff for real. And let's try this out. Okay, let's go. I always forget to end the stream. Like I raid, but then I